Hey there guys and welcome back. Oh man, the 20 new cards that they revealed this time. Some crazy. The one of them's really crazy. That's the one I'm gonna get into first. We're gonna get right into this though. I'm showing the last card they revealed first. Because I don't care. The SHUPPPEEEEE Big Adventure. This card. Okay. You get to pick one of the SHUPPPEEEEE. Each SHUPPPEEEEE has 5 different options of what it can do, and then you'll get 3 of those random 3 of those 5 options to pick from. They gave us an example of what each one does. They said this is the strongest card in the game by far. You do have to run no duplicates in your deck for it to work, but I'll just give you an example of what some of the things do. SHUPPPEEEEE Mage. The one example they gave us for SHUPPPEEEEE Mage was he lets you just draw a card. Instant card advantage on a 4 power body. SHUPPPEEEEE Hunter. One of the options is play any bronze or silver card from your deck, so you get to filter any card out of your deck that's not gold on an 8 power body. Then SHUPPPEEEEE Knight, one of the examples was duel an enemy. So if your opponent has a 12 power enemy out, you can easily make that a 24 power gold. Those are some ridiculous effects, and that's just one example from each of the 5 that you can get depending on which one you pick. Now, this is a total RNG card, and I'm going to make an RNG deck. That's probably what I'm going to name it, RNG deck, and it's going to be monsters, and there's a reason. The new monster leader, spawn an organic card, since they said unless the card states otherwise, the options that you can get from the spawn mechanic are going to be from your class or from the neutral cards, which makes spawn mechanic a lot better, in my opinion, because it's less weighted. Like, you can't get just any class's card, which is a lot better, except for the ones that say any, because those ones are still going to suck. But the thing about this SHUPPPEEEEE Big Adventure is an organic card. And there's 13 so far with all the reveal cards and all the cards we have in the game I went through. There's 13 organic cards that the new monster leader can pick from. So you'll get 3 random options out of the 13, and if one of your random options is SHUPPPEEEEE Big Adventure and you run no duplicates in that deck, that'll be crazy. You could play 2 SHUPPPEEEEE Big Adventures. And yeah, I mean, with how ridiculous the SHUPPPEEEEE Mage is, and all of them are ridiculous. Like, and that's just one of the effects. So I can't wait to see what the other effects are. This is kind of dangerous RNG because a deck like that, if you manage to pull the SHUPPPEEEEE Big Adventure with your leader, and you play 2 SHUPPPEEEEEs, yeah, that's gonna be pretty ridiculous. Cause these effects are pretty ridiculous. This is way better than the Siri for running 2 of the same card throughout your deck, and it kind of forces you to build your deck in a different way, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this SHUPPPEEEEE Big Adventure, crazy card. Wow. All right, let's get into there we go, the rest of them. First up, Bridge Troll. Move a hazard on an enemy row to a different row. 9 power. It counts as reapplying it, I guess. So this is sort of a fog support card. When you move it, you reapply it. So you can bring out a fog litigant with him. In that case, he's a 13 power card that moves your weather. That's not too bad. If you're running a fog-based deck, and if you're running a frost-based deck, he's not too great. Because, yeah, he moves your weather, and he's a 9 power. That's not the best thing that you can do, I don't think. So, in the fog-type deck, though, it is nice because we got a lot of blizzard support, and there's, like, no fog support in the game besides foglets and ancient foglets, and nobody runs ancient foglets because they suck. So this card might be interesting. Next, we got Catalani Night. Boost this unit by 5 if played from the deck. 13 power bronze if you play it from the deck. So Dijkstra, Medics, or Reaver Scouts. It's pretty much the ways to play it from your deck. I don't know. It might be alright, because your first one's going to be an 8, and then if you Reaver Scout them, the next 2 are going to be 13, sure. But that's that's just alright. It'd be a lot easier to pull off the machine towers that just go up to like 12 or 14 power. So I don't think this card's gonna be that great, but it might have a deck built around it. Who knows? Next we got Warship. 7 power, deal 4 damage, 1 damage 4 times. 11 power bronze right off the bat, and obviously going for the X-Men deck, because you get to do 4 pings, so your X-Men are going to get boosted 4 times, and that new card that works like X-Men but on any row is going to get boosted 4 times. So yeah, this card is probably going to be really good, and it's a machine, so it goes with one of the other cards that we'll get to in a bit. Then we got Lamia. 5 power, deal 4 damage to an enemy. If the enemy is under Blood Moon, deal 7 damage instead. Alright, so it's a 12 power bronze if they're under Blood Moon. Still don't know what Blood Moon does or Moonlight, so can't really say much about that. But it's kind of cool, I do want to point out, because the werewolves activate on if you have Blood Moon, if you have Full Moon on your side. But if you have Blood Moon on the enemy's side, it seems like they're going to have other cards that go with that. So once we know what that does, that'll be a lot cooler, because he can actually say, oh, is this card crap or good? And then we got Catalani Revenant, 4 power. Whenever you play a spell, spawn a copy of this unit on a random row. Do not repeat. Okay, this and gain 2 armor. So, it's a 4 power. You play a spell, it spawns another one. That's a 4 power. But the first one you played is going to lose its effect, basically, and just be a 4 power then. But the second one that just spawned is still going to have the effect of when you play a spell, you get to play another one. So that might be interesting. Because if you get 3 of these guys out, you play a spell, boom, you're getting 3 more 4 powers. You play another spell, you're getting 3 more 4 powers. And you're going to have to be careful and actually target the one that still has the effect going for it to stop it. So this guy's kind of cool. Can't really say if he's going to be great or not, but he seems like he has the potential to be really good. So he's cursed, so that's kind of cool, because the cursed cards are all coming. Then we got a Clan Corsair, 3 power, Resurrect Bronze Machine. This is the card I was talking about going with that other card. It's Priestess of Freya, but for machines only, and it's 3 power. So if you're running a machine heavy deck, then you could run this instead of Priestess of Freya and get 2 more power on your Priestess of Freya. Not too bad. Or you could run it with Priestess of Freya and something like Axeman. I'm thinking this guy might be an Axeman. Or Self-Wounding Skellige, maybe? Maybe. Because you could use him to resurrect those warships. And there's another silver card that kind of goes with that. Like, I'm thinking the Clan Corsair, along with the Great Swords, and the long ships that do 1 damage and boost strength themselves by 2, and then another silver card that we'll get to in a minute, and maybe running something like Djenge and letting the ships hit him so we get max value out of another card. Then we got Recruit. Play a random different bronze soldier from your deck. Yeah, it says random, but this is an RNG. This is Dwarven Agitator type RNG, very controlled. You can easily make it very controlled by running only 1 soldier in your deck. So, kind of cool. I mean, depending on what soldier you run. Nausicaa Brigade. I just thought of it. I just realized, yeah, you could use this guy to filter out your Nausicaa Brigades. I don't know if that's going to be the greatest thing, but maybe. Maybe if you ran just Nausicaa Brigades, would it be worth it? Who knows? Or that new guy is a soldier too, the alchemy card guy, who does damage depending on how many alchemy cards you run. Yeah, Recruit probably going to be pretty good. I mean, Dwarven Agitator was great. It made all those dwarf decks, single dwarf decks, so this guy's probably going to do the same thing. Then we got Crushing Trap. Deals 6 damage to the units at the end of an enemy row. Not too bad for a bronze. Maybe. In Spellatail, this is like totally a Spellatail card. And might see play in other decks, I don't know. But I mean, it's something you're going to have to play around when you play Scoia'tael against Scoia'tael. At least in the beginning, until we know if people are going to run it or not. Because your placement of your units is going to really matter. Because if you set it up so you have like a 6 power one end and a 6 power another, and they play this 12 power bronze who just killed off 2 of your units, it could be really good in that case. But if you make it so you're paying attention to where your units are placed, like you have a 6 power on one end and like a 2 power on the other end, then this thing's not going to net up as much value. It can turn into a crappier card for them. So it's a card you can play around, it just makes it so you have to play around more cards. Elven Blade, deal 10 damage to a non-elf unit. People don't like this card for some reason. Everyone was like, oh, crappy card. Why is Scullytail getting all the crappy cards? This card's not too bad. Especially in Swallowtail. Swallowtail runs Elzur's Thunder. Like, 3 more damage on Elzur's Thunder. So, 10 damage, that's pretty hard removal. You can pretty much take care of anything with 10 damage. Any annoying thing that has an ongoing effect, this thing will pretty much kill unless it's like a already boosted unit. So this card's not too bad, I don't think. I think this card will see play, Elven Blade. Then we got Flail, deal 5 damage and spawn a Draugr. Okay, this one is crappy. Yeah, it adds up to the same value, but the reason why I think Elven Blade is good and Flail is crap is because Elven Blade can deal with like anything since it does 10 damage. Flail can deal 5 damage and spawn you a unit. So it's a 10 power bronze, but you're not getting the hard removal value out of it. You're just getting a unit and 5 damage, which 5 damage doesn't take care of much. Like 8 damage. 8 damage is pretty hard removal, because a lot of the annoying things only go up to like 8 damage. And 5, like, there's plenty of things that are annoying that are 6, and you'd just be 1 off with Flail, whereas Elven Blade, you'd be able to kill it. I don't think it's that great, but it does spawn a cursed unit, so maybe in a cursed type deck. We'll have to see. Then we got Doppler, transform into a random bronze unit from your faction. They did say that they're planning on making this a crate. Oh no, crate. Yeah, it's a crate card, so that's what they're changing spawn to. They're naming it crate now to make it more easier people understand. So you'll get 3 choices out of all your bronze units from your faction. You'll be able to pick one and play it. It's alright. No, it's not alright. It's a crappy card. I think it's crappy. I mean, even in the best case, why just another one of a bronze unit? You'd have to be a faction that relies heavily on a bronze unit. Maybe in something like Veteran Skellige, you could hope that you get more clan tech skirmishers. I guess, actually, in Veteran Skellige, this card would be really good, and it's an RNG card, which sucks. Yeah, because your bronze units aren't too bad. You could spawn that new card that resurrects a machine, you could spawn a Priestess of Freya, you could spawn a Clan Tursek Veteran, which would be amazing. And you could run 3 of these cards. So, I have to try messing around with it. But I don't like the card overall. And it was kind of funny during the stream, because during a lot of these cards, they're like, it's not RNG. This is not RNG since you can set it up this way. This one, they didn't say that, of course, because it's total RNG, but I think they're learning that, yeah, people don't like RNG. So, maybe this will be the only thing we'll see of heavy crate mechanics. Next, we got Milena. This is just one of the previews of a card that they're changing. Ambush. After 2 turns, flip over and charm the highest bronze or silver enemy with 5 power or less. Charm means you take it from their side of the field and put it on yours, sort of like Succubus. Pretty cool, because they're adding more to the ambush archetype. Because ambush will just get better and better, more good effects that they add to it, since you don't know what it is when it's face down. Like right now when you play against ambush, you know they put an ambush card down, you know it's either a Torval or a Morin, because that's only 2 people run. Sometimes they'll run that 9 power unit, but that doesn't happen really anymore. But now with another card like this, that's 3 effects that you're going to have to be like, it could be this though. And if they are sneaky, you can be really sneaky now with ambush. And play like your Morven on the row opposite from a 5 power unit, so that way they think, oh, that's their Milena. And then they play a unit, it flips over, it kills it, whatever. Or do the same thing with Torval. Just opens up more options to the ambush archetype, which is cool. Then we got Johanna, 6. Oh, this was the card I was talking about for the Skellige Machine Resurrecting deck. Johanna, 6 power, heal a bronze or silver unit and then boosted by the amount healed. Yeah, if you're running those ships that keep damaging something and you're just, I mean, you have to have a long round for this to work to its full potential, but you're sitting there hurting your Djenge forever, and he's like a 16 power, and you get him down to like, let's say, 6 power. So 10 turns. Yeah, that's a while. You'd have to do something else. Maybe if it's getting hurt by weather. But, I mean, if you manage to get it down to 6 power and you played her, that'd be, well, you'd heal it by 10, so you'd boost it by 10, so it would become a 26 power card, along with the original 6, and yeah, that's 26 power play. Johanna, I think, will be pretty good in some certain decks, maybe even Curse Skellige, who knows. We're going to have to wait and see. People are saying it's a crappier Armor Smith, but I think it has potential to be way stronger than an Armor Smith. Why it's a silver. I think there's some good plays you could probably make with this and make it get you a lot of value. Next we got Bringeth, 5 power, play bronze machine from your deck. Yeah, play, which means you get to pick the machine that it plays. Kind of weird seeing Nilfgaard get machine support since they have like no good machines. You have like 3 machines to choose from. Heavy Fire Scorpion, which you want to reveal in your hand. Fire Scorpion, which you want to reveal in your hand and then play it. You don't want to just play it. And Mongol, which does damage every time you reveal a card. So definitely only fits in like a reveal archetype deck. And even then, I don't know. Because, yeah, you'd pretty much only have to grab a Mongol. That would be like the best thing and your only really alright option. So, oh yeah, bronze too, so you can't even grab the Heavy Fire Scorpion. So, yeah, Mongol and reveal, running Mongol, it's not a thing really, and reveal's not that great, so maybe later if they come out with more Nilfgaard machines. Then we got Nilfgaardian Gate, a really good Nilfgaard silver. Play a bronze or silver officer from your deck and boost it by 2. Yeah, you can filter out any soldier, any officer that's bronze or silver from your deck and play it. Johanna de Witt's an officer. I mean, you're giving him +2 on the play, which kind of sucks, but I mean, if you really needed your Johanna de Witt, that is an option. And yeah, soldier officer deck archetype might be more viable. Nilfgaardian Gate, pretty good. And we got Black Blood. Choose one, grade a bronze or silver necrophage or vampire, or destroy a bronze or silver necrophage or vampire. This one, they said it's going to say any and not so you can grab it from any faction. And they said they're coming out with a lot more vampires in the next patch. So this is like one of those prep cards, sort of like they told us Flimmer was a prep card for later because they're coming out with more alchemy cards. And this is an alchemy card. So I guess next patch we're getting some vampires. Then we got Pit Trap. Pit Trap. Apply a hazard to the enemy row that deals 3 damage to units on contact. If they don't clear this, this is awesome. I mean, it's a hazard, so it's pretty easy to clear if you run any weather clear units. And it's a silver, so you're taking a really big risk by playing this. But if you are playing Movement Scully Tell, and you actually manage to get your Pit Trap to stick on the field, you can get so much value out of Pit Trap. It will be ridiculous. But you, just for how much value you can get, you can lose the same amount of value because they can just clear it, and then you're like, oh, well, that was a fun card to play. Silver slot. So I don't think it might not see play. Depends on how prevalent single weather clear units become, or clear skies, because I'd drop a clear skies to clear this if I was facing Movement Scully Tell for sure, since I know it's a silver and they can only run 1. Then we got a change to Bloody Baron. He's now a 9 power. Whenever an enemy is destroyed, boost self by 1 wherever it is. So he can be in your hand now, in your deck, in the graveyard, and he'll boost himself by 1 whenever an enemy unit dies. He also got a power boost, but now he does not appear at the top of your deck, so you can't just auto draw into him round 3 like the old Bloody Baron deck counted on, and then auto win basically. So I don't know. He might be alright. I mean, you kill 10 units, he's a 19 power gold. That's really good. That sounds really good until they drop your Geralt Yarden, but I mean, besides that, like, you got machine decks, so you're usually killing units. So killing 10 of them shouldn't be too hard. But then again, Swarm's not really gonna be a thing with the row limits coming. So that was like when Bloody Baron was really good, was when Swarm was really popular. Because you could just kill a bunch of their units and get a huge Bloody Baron. Next, we got Wispus Tribute. Play a bronze or silver organic card from your deck. Yeah, she filters you out an organic card. So, from your deck. So she's better than the monster leader. The new monster leader that's coming out. Unless you manage to pull Shuppppee. If you pull Shuppppee with the leader, oh my god, that's just gonna be crazy. But besides that, Wispus Tribute. 6 power, play bronze or silver organic card from your deck, and you get to pick it. It's not RNG based, it's a pretty good card. You could Wispus into Mandrake or something, or Adrenaline Rush if you're running Unseen Elder, like that kind of cheesy combo that they do where they make Unseen Elder really big, then they play Adrenaline Rush. Sure, they lose on a little bit of tempo, but if your opponent doesn't run Scorch or Igni or something, you pretty much easy wins. But now you can happen to not lose out on the tempo so much if you drop Wispus Tribute, filter out the Adrenaline Rush, and then pop it on your Unseen Elder. Might be a thing, might not. Who knows? Card seems pretty cool though, because you get to pick it, so I like that. Then we got Irvith Meditation. 2 power, force 2 units to duel each other. Yeah, this guy's gonna be crazy, especially in hand buff. Like, you get those Dalblithana Swordmasters really boosted up with Quensign. Yeah, you drop an 11 power Dalblithana Swordmaster. Boom. You do 11 damage. If they have another big unit on the field, you attack, you make this guy make them duel, you'll do 11 damage to the target. They'll do whatever they have left back. The Quensign will eat it, and then you'll do 11 more damage. So you can take out a 22 power unit with this guy if you had like an 11 power with Quensign, which would make this a 24 power gold. But I mean, your opponent has to have like a 22 power unit or whatever out. So this guy just seems really cool though, because yeah, in hand boosting type you're gonna have big units to duel with, and you get to pick who starts the duel, so you're gonna have first strike. Then we got the change to Carhartt, resurrect a leader, 1 power. Now they were saying this was a buff. I'm so confused. And they didn't specify, like they said 2 confusing things. Like the one guy said, he can resurrect any Nilfgaardian leader now. But, I mean, you can only run 1 Nilfgaard leader, so, and then the other guy said, yeah, or he can resurrect any leader from your graveyard. But how would you get your enemy's leader into your graveyard? They're doomed and everything, so how do you do that? I guess lock them, turn them to silver, then muzzle them? And then you can play a King Braun as Nilfgaard, maybe? I don't know. It's weird. They said it's a buff, though, so I'm thinking maybe the way it's supposed to work is that you play it, and then, yeah, you can resurrect your opponent's leader, too, if you want to. But, I mean, overall, it's a nerf if you can just resurrect a leader that's in your graveyard, because that's going to suck. Then we got Shill. This card's really cool. Choose one of these 3 options. Equalize, deal 3 damage to all enemies with odd power. Cool. Or deal 3 damage to all enemies with even power. That's both pretty cool effects. Depending on which one they have more of. This thing could probably net you a decent amount of value if the round goes on long enough. And then equip. Play a random bronze or silver unit from your deck. Yeah, it is random, but it's dedicated to your deck, sort of like Prince Stennis, so it's not so bad. It's just an escape option for if Equalize and Disrupt are really crappy. like your opponent has no cards on the field or they only have one card on the field, then yeah, you're probably going to want to go with Equip. Kind of cool card, but I mean, there's a lot of new golds coming out, and a lot of them seem really strong compared to something like Shahil, where you need a good situation for it to be good. So I don't know if it's going to see much play, but still a really cool card. And that is it. Yeah, Shoop's Big Adventure is the last one I got on my list. So, yeah. Shoop's Big Adventure, really exciting card. I'm going to put all the RNG monster cards and one of them, of course, and just run a crazy monsters deck that's going to be totally unpredictable on what it does, and we'll see how that goes when the new patch hits. Of course, I don't have much, but the draft mode should be coming. So if draft comes, I'll probably do really well in that, and I'll just farm the new cards that way, since I have currently 1.5k ore, which isn't much because I usually start saving at the beginning of the month, at the middle of the month for the new patch, but then they dropped this. They're like, oh, it's coming out in the middle of the month. I'm like, oh, I don't have time to save for 111 new cards. You guys are crazy. But we'll see how that goes. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys are hyped for the new cards, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, have a good one.